Hello, it is Sid.
And it's Andrew.
Welcome back to another episode of Loose Ties. We seem to have
Podcast.
had 30 listeners on our preview.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. So hopefully you guys are tuning in for this one.
All right. So, before we get the episode started, I've got to tell you about Anchor. Florida beaches are opening back up, Sid. In a few counties, not all.
I don't know how I feel about that. I am so happy. Like the thought of things going back to normal and opening up is great.
Yeah,
But I guess there's always that worry, like, are people gonna catch it once they open up that beach? That's such a public area.
true. I heard something about Japan having like a round two. Is that true? I have no idea what I'm talking about. It might be true.
Like a second wave.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some articles about it. I don't know how valid it is, but it makes sense. I mean, you let more people back out in the open, obviously there's more a chance to spread.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but who knows? Maybe they might heavily enforce social distancing on these beaches. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was Jacksonville Beach or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It said that they were still social distancing, but like these people were still like, I don't know, pretty close.
Right, like it said that, but people aren't actually listening.
Yeah. And speaking about people getting close, did you see like all the protesters in California
I
protesting?
I did, and that. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. It's just they were told to do something, they didn't do it,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're mad that they're gonna have to do it longer.
Yeah, half of
It's kind of weird.
half of me commends them because of course we always want to like stand up for our rights and da da da.
Hmm.
Half of me, I don't know, I guess is just a bit confused because you're going out in a crowd and you're standing really close. And I'm not saying they have corona now, like I don't know. But
Hmm.
maybe if they had protested while social distancing, I feel like that would have been so effective.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason why they are because um, like it's just ruining the economy, keeping everything closed. Businesses are shutting down. Businesses like Gap and GameStop are
Mm-hmm.
shutting down.
I think a lot of companies that were on the brink of closing, like Sears, no offense, Sears, we just know you were struggling. I mean, I just
Rip
feel like it's
Sears
gonna be the tipping point for them.
for like Gap and GameStop and like all those small stores.
Right, right. I know,
Yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
I heard like Forever 21 and like Walgreens were gonna close a few stores too, and they're like pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah, especially Walgreens. I feel like you don't see a ton of Walgreens shutting down.
Right.
Ever, really.
Yeah, because they're kind of like a pharmacy. Well,
Yeah.
at least the one in Massachusetts or in my area is a pharmacy. So.
I'm just concerned if anyone is a college grad listening, I'm graduating in May. And luckily, the field I'm in, I do think there will be jobs. But people I know who had their degree in business, like, I don't know what it's going to be like for them getting a job. How can companies be eager to hire when they're furloughing their employees? Like, they don't even have money to pay their current employees.
Right. It's pretty scary.
It is. And everyone always talks about, oh, graduating college, the real world, getting a job, it's so hard. Well, I don't know what it's going to be like now with these new circumstances.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, they're all doing a pretty good job, like
Mm-hmm.
opening stuff back up. They're opening gyms and movie theaters, I think,
Oh, wow.
just to get things rolling again. Actually, in Massachusetts, they just announced that schools were closing for the rest of the year. Like they're
Yep.
not going back,
Yep.
which is pretty crazy.
It is. That they're doing the same in Texas. Um, Luckily, if you live in Texas, I don't know how true this is, but Governor Abbott was saying that Texas is number 2 for the highest amount of recoveries.
I heard that, yeah.
So I don't know if that's because of the population or that's because of the healthcare here, but that is a positive thing.
um, so yeah, stores are shutting down. How about stimulus checks? People pretending they're rich and it's only $1,200.
I
Guys, calm
know.
down.
I know. I mean, to some people, that is a. How do I word this?
Be
Any
careful
money
here.
is a lot of money, right?
Sure, yeah.
You know, but I know there was a lot of problems getting them out and even applying for one. And realistically, if you look at the value of, was it $1,200, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what is that gonna get you? I know here that's like that will pay the rent. Like that's it.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. Like, they're not factoring in everything, but there's a lot of people unemployed. Like, the last I read, 22 million.
That's insane.
Yeah, but it was a $2 trillion package.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And I just want to clear stuff up for people that are listening that might not be fully informed about another stimulus check coming out. That's quote unquote $2,000 for a month for like however long this goes on for. Yeah, that's not true as of
Oh,
yet.
so that was circulating, or it's not confirmed that they're gonna do that yet.
So it was a proposal. So it's not guaranteed. And it took, what, like a month to get this stimulus package. So who knows how long it's going to take to approve this one.
Right,
So don't depend on it.
right. Although it's sad because some people are, you know what I mean? Are like depending on it.
Right, yeah.
Well, not depending on it, but they're depending on the stimulus check that came out. And if another one were to, they would as well.
Hmm.
Um, I know luckily my parents get to work from home. Um, so that's good. I lost my part time job that I had, and I'm trying to get a new one.
Hmm.
But I'm nervous. Like, where do you work? Where do you work that you're not going to get sick?
Yeah, I know. Like everyone's getting sick. I heard a lot of UPS and delivery drivers are getting sick. Basically, everyone that's still working is getting sick.
Right, right. Like, I don't know if this is controversial to say. I don't know how to word this. I feel like the inevitable is some people will get sick. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, let's throw all this negativity out of the way because all we do is talk about coronavirus, and I'm sick of it. So let's talk about the XFL filing for bankruptcy. And I'm laughing at this because I watched one game. I watched the first game of their season,
Hmm.
and it sucked. Do you know what the XFL is, Sid?
I don't, but you're not making it sound too grand.
No, because it's really not that good. So basically, I think it was in February the season started. It's basically like what do you call like a bad model of something. Like
Like a
it's like a
knockoff?
yeah, it's like a knockoff NFL. And they
Really?
have yeah, they have 8 teams. Where are the teams? Where are the teams? So there's Dallas Renegades, the DC Defenders, LA Wildcats, New York Guardians, St. Louis Battlehawks, Seattle Dragons, and Tampa Bay Vipers. Those are the teams, and it's basically like a really crappy NFL game.
So is this like another league of football? Um, or is this just like a flat out knockoff, maybe for like those who couldn't get into the NFL?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, but the rules are like different. The rules are definitely not the same as um NFL. Like from the kickoff, like the kickoff for the XFL, the kicker starts at the 30-yard line and must kick the ball in the air and in play between the opponent's 20-yard line and the end zone. I just read that off their website, which I'm surprised is still up since they're not a company anymore. And yeah, they played at like college stadiums, so it wasn't like a very big venue.
Hmm.
And I think they only got like halfway through the season. I think there was only supposed to be 10 games, and they only got through 5 weeks.
Oh man, that's like the Divergent movie series. If anyone ever followed that, like they were supposed to make a final movie, but it was
Hmm.
so bad they stopped production in the middle of filming. Kind of like that.
Really? Oh man. And something that was different too, they started in February. Like that's the end of the NFL. Like
Oh,
when's the Super Bowl?
that's
I
kind
think
of
that's
smart
in
though, right? Think about it. For all those major football fans who can't get enough, Super Bowl wraps up, football season's done, and then I don't know, was the idea that they could continue on to this XFL?
well, I think that they were just trying to have like another entry into the NFL. So like you know how college
Mm,
football players like eventually go to the NFL when
yeah,
they graduate. I think like the XFL is for like people that are too lazy to go to college and just want to play for a few years, get
right.
paid, and then go to the NFL.
I mean, good idea in theory, you know?
Yeah, I think the only reason why they failed, number one, because of this, so they had to I mean coronavirus,
Right.
because they had to cancel their games and now they're not making money and they didn't have any money to start with, so they can't pay their employees, so they had to fire their employees, so then they have no one to work for them next year.
I'm laughing. It's awful, but just hearing you say XFL, all I can think of is like a shirt size, like extra large football. Like, I don't know why I'm thinking that. XFL?
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
If anything, no, I won't say it. Never mind. That's too mean.
It's too. Good job. Showing some integrity there.
Well,
Ah.
talking about XFL, NFL, the date of this recording is the 21st of April. So today there was rumors of Gronk, who's the tight end for the Patriots, if you guys don't know, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is crazy. Do you know who Gronk is, Sid?
No, how do you say his name?
Gronkowski.
Gron? Am I saying it right? Gron? Not Gronk? Like Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove?
No.
No.
G with a G.
Gronk. Gronk?
Gronkowski.
Gron. I'm just gonna call him
Gronk.
G-Man.
We're not moving on until you get this right.
Say it slow.
All right, ready?
Say it slowly. Break it down.
Gronkowski. No T, no T.
Grontowski.
Gronkowski.
Gronkowski.
There we go.
There you go. There you
Rob
go.
Gronkowski.
If any Southerners are listening, you know how hard this is. Gronkowski.
Yeah, so he has moved to the Buccaneers.
Which is for Florida, you were saying? Or.
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
So, how do you think this will affect both teams?
I think it's a huge middle finger to the Patriots because you know the duo Tom Brady and Gronkowski.
Oh, okay, I'm aware of Tom
So
Brady.
so Tom Brady also went to the Buccaneers. He was supposed to retire, but then he was like, "Nope, going to the Buccaneers."
I don't know much about football, but I do know Tom Brady is excellent and people love him.
Hmm.
And I know
Except for me.
I know he's getting older, right? Like I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean he's ending his career kind of in football towards the end.
Well, that's what people were expecting, but he just doesn't quit. This guy doesn't stop.
I just feel like if he was doing phenomenal on the Patriots and he knows that the end is nearing for his career, end it on a high note. Like, why would you want to risk anything?
Chasing money.
Aren't we all?
Well, I mean, he's 42 years old.
See, I don't know the cutoff for football. Not cutoff, but the typical retirement age.
I don't think there is one, but that's just really old.
Yeah, I guess the retirement age is when your body tells you.
Yeah, like, how many times does this guy need to be tackled to say, okay, let's move on?
Let's move on. That's enough now.
Oh, gosh. Yep. I hate Tom Brady. I'm sick of him winning. Even though I'm from Massachusetts, like, just,
Why are
stop
you
winning
sick?
already.
Why? Why? Who would you want to see win?
Anyone else?
So are you saying it's not the fact that you hate the team, it's just like playing video games with that friend that always wins? Like you just want anyone else to win.
Exactly. Like, it's just gone to the point. 6 Super Bowl rings. Like, okay, it's your time to stop now.
No, he needs 10. You need one for each finger.
What the heck? Jesus. I,
Oh.
I would be really upset if he got 10. I'd probably just stop watching the NFL just like people stopped watching the XFL.
No, I was gonna say if you stop watching the NFL, you could go over that XFL.
Yeah, but those dreams are shattered.
Oh, well, maybe we'll see Tom Brady winning less if he moves to this team. Who knows?
Well, wouldn't that be nice for me?
I guess. I don't know how many. I just know a lot of Tom Brady supporters. Um, but I have heard people say they're like, man, that guy just, he always wins.
Call them the GOAT. Have you heard that?
The greatest of all time.
Hmm. Yeah, okay, I'm sick of talking about Tom Brady now.
Tom Brady, I have nothing against you if you're listening. I'm sure he's listening, right? Among the 30 people who
Oh, yeah, of
listen.
course.
Yep.
Well, hopefully more of this episode. Tell everyone, your mom, your dog, you know?
There you go. Tell them Tom Brady's listening, so you gotta listen.
Right? Alright, so I'm sick of Tom Brady. Let's talk about this guy. Who is this guy? Tiger King?
Okay,
Or,
I have not seen this show. I want to. But all the memes that I am seeing on Facebook, that's right. I'm an old person. I use Facebook. Are so funny. Like I get the concept of the crime and the show and
mhm.
they crack me up. Like people calling shade on his wife. Wasn't it like Carol, right?
I haven't watched the show either, so I was asking you. I have no idea.
Okay, I don't want to butcher this because I know there's so many fans out there of this, but I'm pretty sure I know he committed a crime. He worked with tigers. I could be wrong, with his wife or with another lady.
Mhm.
And the speculation is, did that lady feed her husband? I don't know if her husband was Tiger King or some other guy. Did she feed him to the tigers? I think.
I'm pretty sure you're on the right track.
I think I'm
I
on the
mean,
right track because all these memes I see are like throwing shade at the wife's inconsistencies in this show versus the documentary.
yeah, well, I think his name was Joe, right? Because his name wasn't Tiger King. His name
Yeah,
was Joe.
Joe. I don't know his last name, but Joe, yes.
Um, yeah, I think he he's. I'm trying to think of it. I think he is serving a prison sentence in what do you call it? Like a murder for hire thing. So
Oh,
he
like a
paid
hitman?
someone to kill someone.
You know what? Here we go, folks. I'm just going
Oh,
to
here we
read you a synopsis.
go. Okay, quotes,
This is
no
apparently from
copyrights.
National Geographic, which is a weird source for this.
Well, I mean, tigers.
Says once the leader of a large tiger breeding and cub petting organization, the judge ruled Joe Exotic, that's a name, fitting, can never possess tigers again. So he did work with tigers. I was right.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. So there was definitely um, da, da, da. Yeah, see, I was right. Oh, he said he owed his victim, Carol Baskin, an apology and then blamed her, government, and law enforcement and his employees for his current crime. He had
Hmm.
tried to hire two different hitmen, an employee and an undercover FBI agent, to kill Carol, founder of the Big Cat Rescue Wildlife. So maybe Carol's the victim, but I've just been hearing that Carol fed someone to tigers.
So how did they make this a Netflix series?
I could be wrong. I think there was originally a documentary released before he went to prison, or maybe after. So I think they kind of based it a bit off that.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
it is interesting. As I'm looking through these articles, I just thought of this. A lot of these articles are saying Tiger King. No one should celebrate a man who tormented animals. That's from thehill.com. I think it's interesting. Recently, we've had a lot of documentaries, especially on Netflix, or shows that come out based off these murders or crimes. And they're
Hmm.
fascinating. Like, I freaking love them. But does this glorify in a way or give credit to those criminals?
Uh, Geez, I don't know. I mean, it's actually doing him quite a favor because I think Trump was asked in a press conference, like, what do you think about the whole thing?
Right.
And his son told him about it, and he said, "Oh, I'll look into it." I'm not sure if that was serious. It's probably a joke, but like, maybe he can get freed. Like, I don't want to start any rumors among the
Right.
30 people listening, but
And I just
what do you
feel
think?
I don't know. Like trying to think of another like serial killer kind of documentary that has come out. Um I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's a ton. Part of me gets it because maybe when you watch that, you get to truly see how awful of a person they were and the things that they did. But then sometimes I think we get caught up in how good of a show it is and we don't realize that this was an actual crime. Sorry, that was
Mm,
my email. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Honestly, I have no idea. I'd have to. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. For those of you listening, that's something to think about. Do you think, and we do this too, we put serial killers' names in the newspapers sometimes, and does that in a way glorify them or give them the credit they seek out? Something to think about.
Right, and if you want to let us know what you think, you can email us at loosetiespodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read through them and maybe we'll talk about it next episode. Sid, what do you think?
Yeah, that would give a good starting point. And I've been watching a lot of crime documentaries.
Oh, perfect then.
There you go.
All right. Um, what else is new? Ooh, how about I know you don't have an i. Do you have an iPhone?
I do not. I have had $100 phone from Amazon for the past like 5 years.
Well, I just saw. Well, I'm like an iPhone geek, so
Mhm.
like I try to get the newest iPhone because I'm like a tech guy. And I was reading that iPhone SE Generation 2 is coming out. So, like, I think in 2014 or 15, there was an original SE. So, this was like my middle school days. And this phone was like so popular. Like, everyone had it. It was like the best phone ever, the iPhone SE. But now they have a second generation, and it's pretty affordable. I mean, prices starting at $400 and the payment's $10 a month, or you can trade in an old phone and get it for $230, which is still expensive, but it's it's definitely gonna get more people into iPhones because it's pretty cheap. What
So
do you think?
what would
Sorry.
what would this I guess what are the new features or maybe not new features but the uniqueness about it?
So basically, well, from the renderings, I mean, I'm looking on Apple's website now, so this has to be official.
Right.
It has the home button again. So like that that button that every phone has that just brings you back to that main menu every time.
Yeah, didn't they replace it with like a touchpad or something?
Yeah, it's on the bottom of the phone, so it's basically like the screen takes up the whole phone face, but on the bottom you swipe and then you slide, and that's what you use as your home button. But they're bringing that back with the iPhone SE, so it's kind of like a retro, bring it back, you know.
I think that's because, I mean, the people I know with iPhones, I know that they liked the home button.
Hmm. Oh, that's interesting, man.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe Apple listened? I'm not sure.
Kind of seems like a compact phone, which is was what was so great about the the first generation was that it was compact, not that hard to lose or break. Um, this second generation has a 4.7-inch HD display, which is like, yeah, it's pretty small compared to other ones. It's got the newest processor, which means it's going to be as fast as all the new phones, so you're not like missing out on anything.
So you're telling me that Apple actually went smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
I think it's
surprised.
I think it's to replicate the first generation because the first generation, listen to this, the display was 4 inches, which is crazy. That's nothing. And the second generation is 4.7, which is still like small.
Right.
But I think it's just like an upgraded version. It's better. It They said it's got 2.4 times uh, the processing power.
I'm super surprised. I always thought Apple would go bigger and bigger and bigger, you know?
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't know. Oh, you can use two different phone numbers
How
on
does
this phone?
that work? That sounds like more telemarketers to deal with.
Yeah, it says you can use a personal line or a business line. That's so interesting.
Can you do that with other phones? I have no clue. I've heard of people having both lines, but I don't know if it can be on the same phone.
I think you can, but you need an app and you have to pay like a membership or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's new. I kind of like that.
that could be interesting. I know a lot of people getting rid of their physical home phones, so to have two lines but just on a cell phone does sound convenient.
True, same. Yep, I've heard a lot of the same.
You could give out your phone, your like priority phone number to your friends and people you like. And then maybe if you encounter someone you don't particularly like who asks for your number, just give them the second one and don't answer it ever.
Give them the business phone number.
Exactly. So it's not a fake number, it's just not the personal number,
Just read or listen to the voicemails.
basically.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah. So you want to wrap it up for this episode?
I guess so. I am severely out of breath. Let's hope I don't have corona. I don't think so. But if I sound like I just ran a marathon, that's why. No running has occurred in the past 72 hours.
72 hours?
Right? Isn't that 3 days? Does that equal 3 days?
Yeah. You were running a marathon?
No, I'm saying no running has occurred in 72 hours.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
Well, thanks for listening in. I think this is our second podcast, right?
You got it. Yep. Episode number 2.
Mm-hmm. We post every Monday morning. Make sure to follow our socials and to subscribe to us on YouTube at Loose Ties Podcast. Hopefully, we'll be uploading those videos every Wednesday once we get that figured out. Don't forget to tell your friends that Tom Brady listens. And we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.